Hello everyone, this is Richard Gerhardt. Welcome to Body of Energy. This is session number 13 for one of my Instagram followers. So as I've mentioned before, I sent them a message so that they know this is their session, it's about them. But the beauty of that is nobody else watching knows who this is about, so it becomes a demonstration for them. It's like an instruction video, yet it's very personal to the person this is about, okay? So once again, I have several different tools, okay? And so how do I decide which tool I use for which person? So I use another kind of energy tool. I have these sticks, these toothpicks, and they each have a different color on them, and that color corresponds to these tools. So I simply remove myself from the equation, pull the stick that applies to them, and line that up with the tool, and that's how I do that. So for them, it's this tool. This is the element tool, okay? The basic structure of this tool is about the elements: fire, water, air, earth, the element of light, and the element of life, which corresponds to the different parts of the body: the mind, the body, the spirit, the emotions, the heart of the person, and the soul of the person, and the meaning of the numbers. And so that's the basic framework for this tool. This chart, this tool, is what directs the tool. It's the question. It formulates the question, so to speak. It brings in that energy, and it's the reflection then of what's going on with that person. It directs that energy. And then these tiles, so this may be a little noisy, but these tiles give the answer. And so this set of tiles is the element tile set. It's 108 tiles. And also mixed with it is a set of 54 principles, which are divided up into characteristics and attributes. And that's called the Ultimate Expansion Tile Set. And so I use both of them together. It gives the most complete answer as I use these tools. It gives a lot of depth. So as I mix this up for this person, I just mix it all up. That's how it goes. So this tool has 9 points on it, okay? And so I just line them out. It doesn't matter which way I put them down, which order I put them down. Okay? And so the beauty of 9 points, the beauty of these tools, it's about separating myself from the answer. Okay? So on my part, I'm directing the tool. I'm directing it with the knowledge which I possess. I'm directing it with how this tool was made in the first place. Okay? But the separation is that I don't get involved with the answer. The answer comes. It's revealed through these tiles. Okay? And so the beauty of 9 points, if you think about 9 digits plus 0, that's 1 billion combinations. Not counting the different element symbols, the different principles that are involved. So it's much more than 1 billion different combinations. The beauty of that is this tool is not manipulated. It can't be manipulated. It just is what it is. This is like an X-ray of the person. It's like the lab report. Okay? This tool reads the now. This is what's going on with this person right now. And the purpose of the tool is that they can see for themselves what's going on. So it may be self-affirming. It may be revelatory. And then after that, it allows them to take the next right step forward in their life. Okay? So this tool is read on 10 different levels. So here we go. This is the element of fire. It represents the mind and the principle of wisdom. Okay? It's that part of the person that's choosing the right or choosing something that's wrong. They're either making a wise choice or an unwise choice, okay? And so the element that's involved with what's going on in their mind right now is the element of patience. Patience is connected to the element of long suffering, okay? This is a characteristic. And so patience is the element and the thing that's going on in this person right now in their mind. It's also the energy that's being sent through that point to make the change, to allow them to move forward, okay? So this is about patience. Here is the element of earth. It represents the body and the principle of prosperity in the sense of health, abundance, flourishing, those kinds of ideas, okay? And so the energy that's going on right there is about obedience, okay? Obedience is the first law of eternity. And the companion characteristic that goes with it, the companion principle, is sacrifice. All obedience requires some kind of sacrifice, okay? And so this is what's going on with this person, this principle of obedience. And it's having an impact upon their body and their ability to prosper. And so that's how that goes. Okay? So energy tools are all tied to the body, because the body is the reflection of everything that's going on within the person. The body picks up and is the reflection of the truth. Okay, that's why the energy tools work. My body's involved. It's picking up on the energy of the tile, the energy of the person. It puts out these tiles. They come out right. It's an interesting thing to consider, right? And so it also helps a person understand what this section is all about. And obedience is influencing that part of them, okay? So this is the element of air. It represents the spirit and the principle of truth. So it's this part of the person that's trying to discern between truth and error, between right and wrong. It's this part of the person that's connected to the conscience, all right? And so this point is right here on the tool, the 9 of fire. It represents the balance point. Let's say if we were doing acupuncture, that's where you would put the needle to make the change for this part of the person, so to speak. So the number 9 is about fulfillment and contentment. The number 9 is connected to that energy, fulfillment and contentment. And the number 9 of fire connects that thought. So it's about fulfillment and contentment in the mind. Fulfillment and contentment with the choices that are made there. Okay? So when the mind acts in wisdom, it allows the person to have fulfillment and contentment in their life. And this is the energy, okay, the element, that's the balance point for the spirit. This is what's going on in the spirit right now. The spirit is focused on fulfillment and contentment in the mind. This is the element of water. It represents the emotions and the principle of peace. Okay? And this point right here actually resides in the center. Alright? It's the beginning of the third set of the number 9. This is about being aligned with the right pathway, or being aligned to an understanding of eternal truth. And that kind of understanding takes place in the heart. So what's going on with the emotions? It's about this person being aligned with an understanding of eternal truth. And that's having an impact upon their emotions, upon the principle of peace, and that's what's going on there. So, the entire heart of the matter, okay, is represented right here in the middle. The zero, okay, this circle represents the element of light, which is connected to the heart and understood, because things are understood in the heart. That's where real understanding takes place. Okay? And so this is about the 7 of earth. Alright? And so the 7 of earth is about triumphing. At the moment of triumph comes peace. At the moment of accomplishment comes rest. They're so closely connected. The number 7 is all about that. This is about triumphing in the body so that they can prosper. So when the body's prospering, they triumph in life. Okay? This is about triumphing over the body, in a sense, so that it can prosper. Okay? And that is the heart of the matter. That's what's going on in the heart. That's the central focus of everything else here on this tool. Okay? So I'm going to take a moment to write these things down before I move them too drastically around or forget where they were and what position they were in. So I use this worksheet right here so that I can read this tool on the other 9 levels. Okay? Because like I said, this tool is read on multiple different levels. Alright. So, this right here is the connection point between the mind and the body. Alright? So honor is what's going on between the connection point between the mind and the body. Honor is connected to respect. Honor and respect is part of the definition of reverence. Okay? Honor for something or somebody, that's a connected energy there. And that's the balance point between the mind and the body. Between the mind and the emotions, it's actually this point right here again. It's about the right connection between the mind and the body, between wisdom and prosperity. That's the connection point that's influencing the connection point between the mind and the emotions. So between the spirit and the body, between truth and prosperity, this very point, this tile, is in its right place on the tool. It is about the right connection between spirit and body, between truth and prosperity. And so that's what's going on in that connection point for this person. And between the spirit and the emotions, it's about the 4 of earth. The 4 is about having a foundation for something. So here's an illustration of the number 4. If this is sitting at the top of this pyramid, if you can imagine a pyramid here, because there actually is one here, this is about having a solid foundation for the body, for the principle of prosperity. And what is that foundation? It's the mind and the spirit and the emotions and the heart of the person holding up their body. And that's the illustration of the number 4 on this tool. And so that's what's going on between the spirit and the emotions, between truth and peace. Okay, so that's the first level of how this tool is read. Okay, so on another level, now I'm looking at the sum total of the numbers that are on this tool and what's going on with them. Alright?
So, as I add all that up, the sum total comes to a 21, which equals the number 3. Okay, when you add up these numbers, actually, I guess if you add that 9, it comes to a 30, which is a 3, all the same difference. And so the 3 in this position has to do with the future. The energy of this person is on the future. Okay? And so between past, present, and future for this person, their energy is on the future. Alright? And so that's how that's read. Okay? And very specifically, it's this point. What is the future energy? The future energy is about having a solid foundation for the body. That's the focal point of the future. Okay? And so between upright and reverse tiles, okay, as I look at them, the energy here is about energy flowing out. So in terms of energy flowing in and energy flowing out, if a person has too much energy coming in and not enough going out, it creates an overload, an overcharge. And that's what's going on with this person. So the change is about allowing more energy out, allowing that energy to pass through and go out. Okay, and very specifically, all the tiles that were upright, such as the right connection between the mind and the body, the right connection between the spirit and the body, okay? Having a solid foundation for the body, being aligned with eternal truth and understanding it, and fulfillment and contentment in the mind, okay? So that's what's going on with the energy as it flows in and out of the person. And that's how the upright and reverse tiles are read, okay? So the most important numbers are all of the numbers. There's no repeat. So it's about the number 1, being aligned with the right pathway in life. It's about having a solid foundation. It's about triumphing, and it's about having fulfillment and contentment. So on a completely different level, just looking at the meaning of the numbers that appear right here, it is about those 4 numbers in that order. Okay? So then if I look at what is the most important element, I'm going to go through and mark those down and see which was the most important one, because it paints a different kind of a picture as to what's going on with this person. Alright? So the most important element is the element of earth. Okay? So the element of earth is about the color green. It's about how you see and discern what's going on in the body. It's about the earth itself. It's about the body. It's about prosperity. And it's also connected to the number 3, attaining what's right. I mean, the number 3 about being sure. Okay? Having confidence. And the number 8, which is about attaining what's right. Okay? So that's everything that's connected to the element of earth. And so on a different level, that's what all of this is about. The element of earth. Okay? So as I take all of those different points, the sum total of the numbers, the most important element, the way the energy is flowing through the person, it comes to the 3 of earth. Okay? So all of that makes a new point. Here's the 3 of earth. And so on another level, all of this is about being sure in the principle of prosperity. So here's how these principles line up. It's about truth, understanding, and wisdom. They're connected principles. So truth without understanding is useless, and when a person has truth and understanding, they can make a right choice, wisdom. And we have peace and prosperity. And the central point of that is about understanding in the heart. Because right understanding creates right emotions, and it creates the right reaction from the body so that they can prosper. And so for this person, the most important principle is prosperity, and very specifically about being sure in that ability to prosper. Okay? And so I'm looking at the center of the chart now. The number 3 of Earth is right here in the element of air. So in this position, it is about the spirit. So the balance point between mind, body, spirit, emotions, and the heart of the person and the soul of the person is the spirit. All of this is about the balance point of the spirit. That's the impact, okay? So then I'm going to take all of these tiles and line them up where they go. Okay? And it paints another kind of a picture as to what's going on with this person. Alright? So each tile goes where it belongs on the tool. Alright? And this is how it's all lined up. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in this quadrant, this section of the person. There are 4 over here. There's 1 here in the middle. So this part represents what the person is putting out into the world, what the world picks up from them, their body, their ability to prosper, what's going on in their body, the reflection of what's happening with the body. And that's the part they need to put out into the world also to be balanced. It's the balance point. And so that's what's going on with this person at this time. Okay? And so now, if you look at these sets of parallel lines, okay, they represent how energy flows through a person. Because we all have energy coming in, flowing through us, and then going back out. Okay? So I start looking at what was the most important point. What had the most points on it? Okay, it's this connection right here. So this is how this looks. On one level, it's about the number 9. And this is the 0. Okay, if you look, each set of parallel lines has 3 numbers. This represents the 0. It's an extension of the middle. So between the mind and the spirit, it's about fulfillment and contentment and enjoyment and satisfaction. This is the energy that's flowing through this person at this time, between the mind and the spirit. So then it paints the story as to what's going on with the person. This is the story of this person. First and foremost, fulfillment and contentment in the mind, which is connected to the right connection between mind and body, and the right connection between spirit and body. And that's how that goes. And so if you think about that connection, this represents the right pathway for everybody. These 2 symbols are pointing away from each other. So if you could see this, it is about the infinite line, the eternal line, between spirit and the heart and the mind, between truth, understanding, and wisdom, okay? And these symbols on the tool are pointing in. It's about the finite line, if you can see that. And this is the element of earth, the body. So when you look at this, the right connection between spirit and the mind being connected rightly to the body allows the body to respond to real understanding, real truth, and not the body blocking this pathway. It's about removing the block, making the right connection here and here for this person. On a different level, that's what's going on with this person at this time. And so that's the different ways to read and understand this tool. And so, thank you for joining me. And like I said, if you want to send me a message, that's the best way to communicate with me. I'm not really able to see the messages on the screen, so to speak, and because I'm not looking at it, and then I would have to watch the whole video again to read the message. For some reason it doesn't show up in your actual messages. So if you would like to have this experience for yourself, please send me a message. All these videos are posted on my YouTube channel, Body of Energy. And thank you for joining.